What is going on, YouTube? It is All Things Mets Media, and the Mets have signed Carlos Correa to a 12-year, $315 million deal. My goodness, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's talk about it. Carlos Correa, one of the best free agents in all of the market. You know, the Mets were interested in Carlos Correa at the time. They offered him $300 million, but the Giants scooped him up and, had him for $350 million. Now, the Giants did not feel good enough with the medical records and all the physical, stuff with Carlos Correa. So they basically backed out the deal. And, there was supposed to be a public press conference, but they backed out of the press conference because of the medical issue. Nobody knew what the medical issue was. They didn't know if it was COVID. They didn't know what it was. And apparently, it was something with the physical medical records of Carlos Correa and, regarding his health. And listen, that is crazy to believe, because Carlos Correa has played in 6 full major league seasons. He is an all-star. He is one of the best players in all of the free agent market, one of the best shortstop in all of the shortstops, So this came to a surprise to me. This came to a surprise to a lot of people I know. But wow, the Mets decided, the Giants backed out the deal, and Scott Boras got right on the phone with Steve Cohen, and they decided to strike a deal of 12 years, $315 million. Now, man, this guy is 28 years old, one of the best players in all of the market. I'll tell you this, Carlos Correa is great defensively. He is a power bat. He brings so much to the table, defensive, versatility. This guy, Carlos Correa, is a big piece for the New York Mets to have. A really big piece. But I'll tell you this, guys, it comes with a concern because we don't know why the Giants backed out the deal. The Giants can't publicly, mention that. So it's really kind of confusing. It's weird also. It's a weird situation because the Mets decided to strike a deal with Carlos Correa, even though they know about the medical records, with the Giants and Carlos Correa. And they know that the Giants backed off the deal. And they never publicly, had a press conference with Carlos Correa to introduce him as a Met, as a Giant, and make everything official. But the New York Mets, Steve Cohen, doesn't really care. He wants to win. He wants to get the best players in the market, and he went for Carlos Correa, who is one of the best shortstops in all of the market. This guy hit 22 home runs last season. He is an all-star. He is a world champion. He brings so much to the table. And now I'm sure you're thinking, where is Carlos Correa going to play? Carlos Correa is not going to play shortstop for the New York Mets. He is going to play probably third base for the New York Mets going forward. And, Carlos Correa is not a third baseman. He's never played third base in his whole career. So it's going to be a switch for him. It's going to be some adapting. But I'll tell you this, Carlos Correa, if anyone could do it, it's Carlos Correa, because he has such a strong arm, one of the strongest arms out of all the shortstops. And Carlos Correa, man, this guy is making so much money. And he's going to be a Met. If the deal comes official, he's going to be a Met till he's probably 40 years old, because it is a 12-year deal and he's 28 years old. Now, what does that say about the New York Mets and Steve Cohen? What does that say? That says that Steve Cohen is doing everything that he can to win. He's doing everything that he can. He knows he got the money. He knows there's a luxury tax, but he doesn't care. They call it the Steve Cohen tax because he is the richest owner and he doesn't care. He goes after the best players, and he went right after Carlos Correa, even though with the medical issues. And that is a tough situation. Now, Carlos Correa, as a New York Met, is going to be amazing. If he's healthy, if he's well, if he's good to play, he's going to be hopefully an amazing Met. Hopefully, first of all, having Carlos Correa, Steve Cohen said it in a quote, basically that having this move, making this move, puts the Mets over the top. And the Mets right now, with Carlos Correa, with the addition of Carlos Correa, they're looking at one of the best teams in all of baseball. They have one of the best rotations in all of baseball. You know, they got two aces in Verlander, Max Scherzer, Senga, Quintana, and Carlos Carrasco. We don't know what Senga is going to be, but we know that the Mets, on paper, they have the best rotation in all of baseball. So if you really think about it, guys, this was such a big move, a very surprising move. Nobody saw this coming, especially, you know, not me. I did not see this coming. I'm sure Mets fans did not see this coming. They didn't think it would be a possibility, but it was because of Steve Cohen. He has made such a difference to this team. He has done so many things to show that he wants to win. He basically, you know, in all this in the free agency, he spent $800 million, almost $1 billion. If you really think about that, that is so much money. And it's not my money. It's Steve Cohen's money, man. This guy is a difference maker when it comes to owners. The fact that the Mets have the best owner shows that the Mets are like the old Yankees. They're picking up guys. They're showing that they can play ball. They're showing that they can pay people a lot of money. They're showing that they can go after the best free agents. You know, it's such a difference from, you know, when the Mets were, you know, with the other owner, you know, the Wilpons. Steve Cohen brings so much. And he's passionate. He's a Mets fan. He wants to see the Mets win the World Series, and he's doing everything that he can. Now, will the Mets win the World Series with this move? I have no clue. But I'll tell you this, with Carlos Correa, the elite Carlos Correa, one of the best players in all of baseball, coming to the New York Mets to play alongside Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, you know, Brandon Nimmo, and Starling Marte, it shows so much. It shows that Steve Cohen is here to stay, man. He's here to win. He wants to win. Is it World Series or bust? I don't know. But we know that the Mets, the deal isn't official yet. The Mets are looking at the medical records as well for, you know, Carlos Correa. But listen, this can be one of the greatest signs, you know, in all of the offseason. I'll tell you this was such a steal. If the Giants, you know, if Carlos Correa comes up, you know, being healthy and all of that, this is going to be a steal for the New York Mets. Now, we'll see what happens. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I'll tell you this, I'm excited as a Mets fan. I'm a little concerned about the medical records, but I'm excited. I'm happy that we got one of the best free agents in all of the market. You know, Carlos Correa, $315 million. That's a lot of money, but it's not mine. So I'm just happy, man. And this has been All Things Mets Media. This is where you get your latest Mets media. I'm going to have more videos for you guys. I love you guys so much. Let's go, Mets. Baby, I love GM for life. We feel good right now, don't we? We feel like the real New York team that's on top. So we'll see what happens, but I'm happy for the Mets. I'm happy that the Mets are playing ball. I'm happy that, you know, they're changing their ways. They're showing that they're here to win. They're doing everything that they can to win. You can't say that they didn't do everything that they can in this free agency to get better, because they've done everything to get better. Well, that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This has been All Things Mets Media. I love you guys so much.